My name is Penny Phillips and I'm a ceramic artist and I work at Rogue Atelier Workshops, which is where this is being filmed. This weekend and next weekend we're doing York Open Studios, which runs every year in April and is usually sort of about 60 artists that all work around and in York. I mean, they're not all in the centre, but some of them are. I work in ceramics, and this is some examples of my work, and I work from here, usually a sort of 5-day week, and come in and make in my studio upstairs, although my kiln is at home. I started basically throwing when I first started ceramics, and I was very lucky and went to Japan for a 6-week workshop over there, which I really enjoyed. And one of the things I got from over there was they had a very different philosophy about how to approach art, and they had a much looser feel about the way they approached it, and that really inspired me. And when I came back I started to explore just my throwing. I couldn't really do animals in an anatomically correct way, and then I realised, well, I didn't actually want to do that. I wanted to do my interpretation of animals, and I experimented with all sorts of animals, and then I sort of pinned it down wildlife, because we have such a lot of wildlife that people don't really know about, animals that we don't really see very much, like shrews and weasels and stoats and things. And I thought, yes, perfect, I've got a lovely sort of series of animals that I can dip into and make, and that's what I've done really, and I've just been developing my different techniques. I think texture is where I'm most interested. I don't really go for colour, and as you can see with my animals, they're really, it's tonal and they're all the same. It's browns, sort of fawns and a white satin glaze, and I've always worked in that, and I think I probably always will, because it's more the form. So one of the things I've developed is making sculptures, and then I've been mounting them on perspex plaques to go on the wall, which means I can have them almost sort of weightless, and that I do a whippet that's running, and because it's actually mounted like that, you can't, it looks like it's running in air, which is exactly the effect I wanted to get. But it was quite a complicated technique to get it to do that, and it still isn't right yet, but I'm still working on it. With things like the dogs and things, I tend to know people who've got them, and subliminally I think I'm taking in images of them anyway, and I work from that and images. If there's a particular animal, so say for example I wanted to decide to work on a badger, I'll YouTube a lot of badger stuff, and I'll just watch them, and I'll get photographs of them, and I'll have a look at them, and then I'll start making little maquettes, so small versions. And when I've got a small version that I think, yes, I like this will work, then I'll tend to go from that and make a bigger version. Well, that whippet has probably taken me, I would have said, 6 months. 6 months of just evolving it over and over again until you... The thing is, you do get it right, but then when you've made it once, you think, oh, I could just improve that. That would just look a little bit better, or what if I did this? And then you're constantly developing them. I don't mould them because A, it just doesn't appeal to me to mould. And secondly, I think if somebody does buy a piece of artwork and they invest money in it, it's something that's specifically for them and theirs, and so I feel that if they buy that, then it's theirs, and even though I might make another one that looks very similar, it will never be exactly the same. I mean, York Open Studios has been going for about 10 years now, and it's really, really important to York's artistic community. I think it opens up to everybody, even if they're not perhaps madly keen on art. It just introduces them to the wealth of what we have. I mean, we do have a huge collection of really, really good artists working in all mediums. You know, it doesn't just have to be ceramics or art and painting. I mean, there's textiles and jewellery. And there's just a huge range, and each year you get new people coming in, new people developing their work, so it's very sort of rich sort of thing to have in your own city, and well worth a look. If you've never gone, just go and have a look and see. And people are very friendly, and they talk about their work, and I think that's very important. You might never have spoken to the artist or know why they did a particular thing or whatever, and I think that's the nice thing about York Open Studios, is you can actually talk to the artist who made it.
Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.